Said, let me have another drink, huh?
I'm Jim, Valerie. I'm Jim Dedrickson.
Jim. Oh, my God.
I knew it had this effect on you. Hearing my name again after how long has it been? 3.5 years?
I
Can't believe it's true. Sure, I know how you feel. I couldn't believe it the first time I saw you again. I deliberately chose a nice crowded place, a theater.
The Whitney. You were across the street.
Yeah. That was the day I got into town and found out where you lived, except I just didn't have the nerve to come up and knock on your door and say, "Here I am, Valerie. How do you like my new face?" Well, how do you like it?
I think it's just fine. You never know you had an operation. There are no scars or anything.
Well, your father was a genius. I was sorry to hear that he turned out to be more than that. I was even more sorry to hear he was gone. That must have been very difficult for you.
This isn't so easy either.
No. I knew it wouldn't be easy for either one of us. That's what took me so long to do this.
But it can't be that simple. The story about you, about us, ran in the paper weeks ago.
I just caught up with it 10 days ago. I was in Los Angeles. Some guy I know, calls himself a producer, got a story in the mail that had the makings of a movie. The peculiar thing was it had my name in it. Then he told me what the story was about, and I told him if he used it, I'd sue him for plagiarism. Because I'd lived that story, just like you had.
And you decided to come back because of that?
Well, there was nothing to keep me there, so I decided to come back here. Find out if Valerie, Bryson, and Lucerne and all that was just a dream.
Why did you follow me? Why didn't you just come up and tell me who you were?
It was a dream. I knew that the first minute that I saw you walking out of the house with that guy on your arm.
You mean the night of the opening?
Yeah. I was holding back for another reason. I wanted to watch you. I know it was sneaky, but I had to find out about what your life was like.
What have you observed?
It's a pretty good life. You got a job, a career, friends, including a boyfriend.
Hello?
Kelly.
Excuse me.
Look, who are you? What's your name?
You're not going to believe this, Kelly.
Try me.
It's Jim. Jim Dedrickson.
Detective, it was Chief Mallory himself who agreed that Jody wouldn't have to answer any more questions until she got some rest.
Look, Mrs. Kavanaugh, I don't know how much sleep your sister needs, but it is 1:30 in the afternoon.
She didn't get to sleep until 4.
Well, that's not because of any interrogation on our part. She didn't tell us anything last night. Especially the most important thing, and I'm sure you know what that is.
Yes, I know. Where Gavin Wiley is. Well, I can answer that.
Oh, really?
The answer is she doesn't know.
I see.
They were separated when Gavin escaped from the Whitney house, and Jody has absolutely no idea where he was going.
Well, even if she did have the information, that's not likely that she'd reveal it, is it?
She is not hiding anything, Detective.
Look, she just spent several days helping Gavin Wiley evade the law. Now, why would she suddenly want to see him apprehended?
Excuse me.
If that's Gavin Wiley, I'd like to speak to him, please.
Hello? Oh, hi, Miles. Where are you?
Oh, I'm still at the hospital.
rounds are taking a little longer than usual this afternoon.
Does that mean you won't be able to come home before office hours?
No, don't worry. I'll be there. I want to see how Jody is. I've just got one more patient, and then I'll leave.
Could you try to make it soon? The police are here.
Now, that doesn't surprise me.
I don't know if Jody's still asleep or just unwilling to come down.
I shall have to talk to them sooner or later.
Yes, I suppose so.
I'll try to make it as quick as possible. Tell her not to worry.
Yes, thank you, darling. Goodbye.
Well, hello, Miss Travis.
Hello. I'm sorry I slept so late. You should have woken me up.
I thought you needed it.
Yeah, well, I thought things were going to be better this morning. But they're not. They just seem worse. Well, there you are, the vice president in charge of excuses. What have you got for me this afternoon, Doctor?
Now, what would I possibly have to make excuses about?
The promise you made that I'd be out of this place in just one more day? Or is that just hospital language for whenever we darn well feel like it?
Well, as I recall, my exact words were in a day or two. How are you feeling?
I feel terrific. In fact, now I know exactly what was wrong with me.
Really?
I was tired. Too many rehearsals, too many quarrels with a very stubborn director. I was exhausted, tired. I needed 2 days of rest in bed. Well, now I've had it. Except for when your lackeys were treating me like a guinea pig.
You feel completely recovered? You have no more headaches, weakness, no more symptoms at all?
None. Isn't that a good sign?
Well, you know, sometimes patients are lucky when they do have symptoms. At least that gives us an indication of what needs looking after.
So you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. Tell me, Dr. Cavanaugh, what did my symptoms suggest when you first met me? Or are you still going to be coy about this?
All right, I will tell you that what I thought was that you might be suffering from a rather rare ailment, the name of which I can hardly pronounce myself.
And why did you think that?
Well, oddly enough, I just read about a similar case in a medical journal. A case with a happy outcome, I might add.
And, do I have this rare, unpronounceable ailment? And will I come out with a happy outcome?
Well, we simply don't know yet, but we will. In another 24 hours, no more than that.
Well, I guess there's no longer any reason for a big hurry. I talked this morning with my quarrelsome director, and they've recast the part.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
It was just a showcase. I wasn't being paid anyway. I took all that abuse for nothing. Amazing, isn't it? America's finest young actress, according to Margaret Simmons.
Oh, really? Is that a critic?
My severest. She also was my mother, rest her soul. Actually, she knew what she was talking about. She said I'd never make money on the stage. So far, Mother knows best.
Has it been that bad?
Oh, I've worked. I've done about a dozen plays. Oh, I've never made Broadway. And the only pictures I've made are the x-rays here at the hospital. Will you do me one favor, Dr. Cavanaugh?
Well, if I can.
When you do find out what's wrong with me, will you be the one to tell me? Because I hate taking bad news from strangers.
Well, who says it's going to be bad news?
Just promise me.
All right, I promise.
No, I didn't run out the front door. I mean, that would have been pretty stupid, especially since I saw the police car driving up. I just ran into the library and slammed the door shut.
And of course, the maid assumed that you had run outside. That's very clever.
The criminal mind, you know. Jody. Anyway, that's how I got back up to the attic, until the butler or the chauffeur or whoever he was found it.
Well, what I'd really like to know is why did you and Gavin decide to go to the Whitney Mansion in the first place?
We, had our reasons.
Well, would you mind telling me what they are?
I'm not sure if I can tell you.
I think it would be better for both of you if you do.
No, look, I've got to talk to my sister alone, all right? Please, I will answer all of your questions. Just give me some time.
Okay, sure, I'll give you some time. I'll be back pretty soon. Jody, please, when I do come back, be here.
Where am I going to go, Detective?
Well, I don't know. Where did you go last time?
Nicole, I don't know what to do. Maybe I should call Martine.
Jody, you don't know. Martine has left Monticello.
Left?
Yes.
Well, Nicole, I've got to talk to somebody, and it can't be the police. I need to talk to a lawyer.
Well, I have an idea. We have a very good friend who would qualify as both. How would you feel about talking to Mike Carr?
Even if you've been brushing with your toothpaste for 20 years, what's in this silver box will give...
I certainly like it over there, although I don't think they're seeing much of London. Draper says the baby is due any day.
But obviously they intend to raise a little Englishman, or Englishwoman, as the case may be.
Oh, Mike, who would think it would end up this way? When I heard that the Bryson investigation was being terminated officially, I thought I'd get a cablegram from Draper saying that he was taking the next flight over. Not that.
The truth is, Cliff, I knew what Draper planned. Nancy and I received a letter, too, day before yesterday.
I didn't even know he had a father over in England.
Well, he never talked about Ansel much, but I'm sure he thought about him. They'd been estranged for years. Much too long.
Well, if he didn't like the old man, why did we go and practice with him?
Oh, I think they like each other all right. It's just that they've had a hard time reconciling their differences, but obviously time and circumstance have made the difference.
Oh, but Draper doesn't know anything about British law. We think he end up a Bannister. Don't they call their lawyers Bannisters?
Barristers, Cliff. Very funny. You see, Ansel practices international law, so I'm sure that Draper will handle all the cases involving U.S. statutes.
Sure does sound happy about it.
My guess is that he's very happy about the reconciliation with his father.
Yeah, reconciling with your father. That's important.
It's something that Draper has wanted all his life. Now, his business trip has ended on a happy note.
Well, not for me. Looks as if Scott and Nelson is just Nelson. Mike, I'm scared. What? I mean, I'm out on my own now, permanently. I don't like it. I'm that sociable type. I need associates.
You're not alone in the office. You do have a tenant. In fact, from what I've seen of Dee Dee Bannister, she'd make an excellent associate.
Dee Dee?
Hasn't a thought ever occurred to you?
Sure, Mike, but she's a woman.
So's our newest Supreme Court Justice, Cliff.
Yeah, but... Well, I mean, you know, I always thought Draper would be coming back, and... She is a good lawyer, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Certainly is a winner. Even when she loses her cases, she wins, you know what I mean?
She has a way of getting the best deal for her clients, that's for sure.
She has a reputation as a fighter, too. Boy, she tries everything. You know, half of the judges in the court system shudder when she walks in the courtroom.
I suppose that's a good sign.
Oh, it's the ultimate compliment. Maybe we would make a good team. My brains and her brawn. Nelson and Bannister, the battling barristers.
Yes, Terry. Oh, sure. Put her on. Hello, Nicole.
Oh, hi, Mike. I'm sure you've heard about Jody.
Yes, I know she's back home. How is she?
Well, she's in a bit of a jam, and I think you could help a great deal. Now, I'm not asking for any special favors.
I know you wouldn't do that.
But would you talk to her, please?
Yes, of course. I'd like to talk to her.
Here she is.
Mr. Carr?
Yes, Jody.
Listen, I know the police must think I'm being very uncooperative, but I know something about this case that they don't, and I have to talk to someone about it. But not to them, only to you.
If it's extra crunchy peanut butter for your extra special ones, you ought to know about the difference.
For the lunch was terrific.
Look, in my opinion, you can't take this guy at face value. You don't even know what Jim Dedrickson's face looks like.
But you think he can really be lying about who he is?
Look, you remember all those crank letters you got when Nancy's article first came out?
Kelly, those letters were obviously cranks. We knew they couldn't be taken seriously.
Then why take this guy seriously? A guy who follows you around like a pickpocket?
Now, I told you what he said about that.
Did he show you any positive proof of identity?
No, not really, but he talked about the clinic and Lucerne and my father.
And anyone who read the newspaper could do the same thing. Anyone who read the paper would also know about the fortune that your father left you.
So you just think he's a fortune hunter?
You know for a fact that he's not?
I guess it's possible.
I think it's probable.
But I don't see how he'd think he could get away with it. I mean, he couldn't fool me for long, Kelly.
Please just take my advice and stay away from the guy.
But what if it's true?
Well, then find out first. But don't say another word to him until you know.
Maybe you're right. But if it is Jim, his face turned out just fine, didn't it?
Let's order lunch.
Taxi! Go, hey, taxi!
About her husband robbing the Whitney mansion.
The police know all about that robbery, Jody. They also know that all of the stolen property was returned.
Jody, Martine is not going to suffer from your telling the truth, and it can only help you.
It's Gavin I want to help.
Oh, that must be Mike. Yes, Oscar? Yes, fine, thank you. Tim.
All right, Jody, now listen to me. I want you to be completely honest with Mike. He's not only the district attorney, he's a good friend.
I know, and I will tell him everything.
Oh, Mike, hello.
Mike, thank you very much for coming. I know it's an imposition.
Nothing of the kind. I'm as anxious as you are to see this case resolved.
I'm not as anxious as Jody.
I'm glad to see you back safe and sound, Jody. But I must admit I would have preferred seeing you and Gavin both.
Well, I have to tell you something about Gavin and about the night of the shooting.
I'm anxious to hear anything you can tell me.
Well, the important thing is that we can prove Gavin isn't the only one responsible for Gunther's death.
I'm not sure I know what you mean, Jody.
I mean, someone else is as equally responsible. Maybe even more so because they wanted Gunther to die.
That sounds like the accusation Sky Whitney made against me.
It's Skylar Whitney I'm talking about.
Jody, I'm sure you realize how serious that accusation is. I hope you have something to back it up.
Yes, I do, and I think I can. You just have to understand about the watch.
The watch?
Yes. I was there the night it happened also, and Gunther tried to come after me.
Yes, we know about that.
Well, he showed me this watch he had. It was an old pocket watch with a gold chain, and it had Sky's initials in it, and when you opened it up, it played a tune. I can hear the tune in my sleep. I know it so well.
But why did Gunther show you the watch?
I don't know. He was bragging about it, and he said that Sky gave it to him as a reward for his loyalty.
I still don't see the point.
The point is there was no pocket watch found on Gunther's body. Was there?
Not to my knowledge.
Mike, Gunther's last words to me were something about a watch. And you called me about that.
Right, because we wanted to know if Martine was telling the truth.
Well, what did Martine tell you?
She told me that the day after the Whitney Dance Company opened, that she knew who had robbed the Whitney mansion.
Her husband, of course.
She said she saw the things that he took from the bedroom, and one of the things was the watch.
Mike, did the police have any idea what became of that one?
They weren't aware it existed.
Well, if it did exist, then it must have gone somewhere, which means that somebody must have taken it off the body.
And you think that someone was Skylar Whitney?
Exactly. And that's why we went to the Whitney mansion, to get a better look at the watch, to make sure it was the same one. This way we can prove Sky was in the dance studio before the police were. He was the one that wanted Gunther dead, not Miles and not